Hey adventurers, so it's been a while since I've done a gear guide or a food guide video. So this one is completely dedicated to a food guide for summer on a multi-day hike. So this hike is 2 nights and 3 days. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's cover off the cookers. So this is the jet boil. So inside I can pop in the small gas canister. It's small, it's lightweight, it's quick to boil water, and it's awesome. Then we have the Bushbuck jet cooker as well. Comes in a handy mesh bag. You can see that it is smaller than the jet boil, and again the lid comes off, and inside I can also put in the small gas canister. So very similar, and I really just like it because it's smaller for when I'm just boiling water for myself. My spork, nice bright yellow so I'll never lose it. And then my food containers. So my food containers depend on what I'm going to be eating for dinner. So if I'm having a freeze-dried meal, so for example Real Meals Mixed Nachos or Radix Chipotle Lime Burrito Bowl, I'll take this bowl. If I'm doing one of my meals with noodles, so whether it's satay noodles or chicken carbonara, I'll take this square container here. Now on this hike, I am having chicken carbonara, so this is going to be my food bowl. Right, so next up is how to pack food. So on a day hike, doesn't need to be anything too fancy. Overnight hike can keep it pretty simple. But for multi-day hikes, it really pays to have an organisation system with your food. So you're not eating the wrong day's food, and you know that you've got it all set out for your entire hike. So what I like to use is these mesh bags. So this one here is a small packing cube, and I like to use this one for 1 to 2 night trips. Anything longer, I will go for this bigger packing cube here. And then sometimes I'll just use these small ones. So overnight, couple of days, great walks, I can use these mesh bags as well. So depends how I feel on the day at the time, will depend on which bag I take, but it will always be a mesh bag to keep my food in. Okay, so let's cover off the food. We've got dinner, we've got lunch, we've got breakfast, and we've got snacks, and absolutely we've got some emergency food. So let's start with breakfast. I've got this Radix mixed berry breakfast. It is a 400 calorie one. I'm going to take this one and split it in 2, which will give me 2 breakfasts, but I'm going to add to it one of these Barker's Super Fruit Crush, and then I always have an Avalanche sugar-free chai latte with my breakfast as well. Now for the snacks, and these are going to power me through the day. So I've got a fruit leather, some almonds, and muesli bar. I've got a snack pack of dried strawberries. I've got the Tom and Luke snack balls, and I've got some roasted seaweed snacks as well. So that'll do me for morning snack and afternoon snack. Lunch on this hike, I definitely need lunch on the first day and the second day. The third day will probably be out by lunchtime, but I am going to take a lunch just in case. So I've got the cheese and crackers by Dairy Works. I've got a tube of basil to give it a bit of zing and flavour. I've got some dried kiwi fruit or kiwi fruit jerky, and I've got some sticky date, walnut and chia biscuits. So a little treat for lunchtime. Dinner on this one is my take on a chicken carbonara, and I have got a whole blog written about this on NZ Hiking Adventures, and I will put a link about here. So you can go and read that as well. So what I've got is rice noodles because I'm gluten-free, but any noodles would work. The backcountry freeze-dried chicken, and I've got, because I use this quite often, a packet of chicken carbonara mix and some coconut milk powder as well. So I will put together in one Ziploc bag the noodles, the seasoning, not the oil sachet, the freeze-dried chicken, some of the chicken carbonara mix, and some of the coconut milk powder mix. I've also got some miso soup and some seaweed snacks, and I'll have that when I arrive at the hut, because it's always nice to sit down and put your feet up and have something to snack on. And then after dinner, I've always got my sugar-free hot chocolate, and I'll probably end up throwing in some chocolate in there as a wee after dinner treat. Okay, emergency food. Because I'm going on a multi-day hike and there is some off-trail terrain, there's some river crossings, you've got to be prepared for all sorts of eventualities and hope that they don't eventuate, but you never know. So I've got some sport beans here, a short burst of energy if I'm feeling flat or anything. I've got a like a jerky bar, so that's just flavored meat basically in a bar, and I've got some extra 2-minute noodles, the rice noodles, but beef flavor on this one. So that's my emergency food. If something happens, I get delayed or whatever, I can break into that if need be, but I will keep that completely separate. Okay, so let's cover off how to pack the food. So I've opted for my small mesh bag and a small mesh bag here, just to keep things nice and separate. So in this one, I am going to put my 2 dinners, because I don't need to have access to them during the day, all my hot drinks, my breakfast, the fruit crush to go with the breakfast, the miso and seaweed snacks, the leftover snacks that I don't need for the extra days, the extra lunch that I won't need, and my biscuits for lunch I'll keep separate. Okay, so that's all going to go in there, and that will go inside my pack. In this mesh bag here, I am going to keep my biscuits for lunch, my kiwi fruit jerky, and my lunch, and then with my snacks here. So this will go in this bag and I can have it whenever, and these snacks here, the strawberries, the almonds, the muesli bar and the fruit leather, that'll go in the hip pocket on my pack. And then for emergency food, so I've got another Ziploc bag here. My emergency food will go in there, and I'll label that as emergency food, and that will go completely separate in my pack. Okay, so that is my food guide for a multi-day hike, 2 nights, 3 days, and how to pack it. So I hope you've enjoyed it. There's the link in the video to my blog on the carbonara chicken, but also make sure you check out the blog NZ Hiking Adventures for more food recipes, ideas, tips and tricks.